My wife celebrated our divorce, but 2 days later her sister arrived and everything changed. The music from the party downstairs still echoes in my head. Even now, hours later, I can hear her laughter, sharp, wild, free. It wasn't the sound of a woman grieving the end of a marriage. It was the sound of someone celebrating it. I stood at the edge of the balcony that night, drink untouched, watching her through the glass doors. My wife, ex-wife technically, holding a champagne flute, her red dress clinging like it had been sewn to her skin, whispering into her friend's ear. Every laugh from her lips sliced something inside me open. We'd signed the papers 3 days ago, 14 years erased with ink. She said she wanted to feel alive again. I let her. I told her it was fine. But as I watched her that night, the confetti, the dancing, the hands that weren't mine grazing her waist, I understood something cruel. She had been waiting for this. Not mourning, preparing. And I stood there, quietly drinking the bitterness of a truth I wasn't yet ready to face. The first message came the next morning, from a mutual friend. A simple text. She really moved on quick, huh? I stared at it for a long time before replying. I didn't. Instead, I just scrolled through the photos that followed. Her, sitting close to a man I'd never seen before. A hand on her thigh. That same red dress. I felt nothing. Not rage, not heartbreak, just a slow, creeping clarity. It wasn't that she had moved on after the divorce. She had moved on before. That explained so much. The distance, the excuses, the sudden work trips, the way she started sleeping on the edge of the bed, like she was already halfway out the door. I told myself I was imagining things, that marriages fade, that routine kills passion. But denial is the last refuge of fools, and I had lived there for too long. When she left that morning for brunch with friends, I opened her drawer. Inside was a folded envelope with a hotel key card inside. The name printed across it wasn't for brunch. It was for the Vale Suites. That's when my denial finally died. I didn't confront her, not yet. That would have been too easy for her, too emotional for me. Instead, I began to observe. I followed patterns. She always worked late on Wednesdays. Her perfume changed every weekend. She suddenly cared about her body again, her wardrobe, her phone lock. I played the part of the quiet, detached ex-husband perfectly. She believed I was broken, but I was calculating. 2 days later, I drove to the Vale Suites, room 312. I didn't go inside. I didn't need to. From the hallway, I heard the sound of her laughter again. The same sound from the party, only softer now, almost tender. A man's voice followed. I could have walked in. I could have destroyed everything in that moment. But I didn't. Because revenge, to be meaningful, requires patience. I left a note with the hotel manager, a small favor. The next time that keycard was used, I'd get a notification. When the alert came 3 nights later, I smiled. It was time. But fate had a strange sense of irony. Because 2 days after she used that room again, her sister, Clara, arrived at my door. Same eyes, same quiet sadness, different soul. She said she wanted to talk, that she was sorry. At first, I thought it was some pathetic attempt at reconciliation. But when she spoke, everything I thought I knew began to collapse. She wasn't just cheating, Daniel, Clara said, her voice trembling. She was using you. I didn't react, just listened. Clara told me everything, about how my wife had been seeing that man for nearly a year, about how she drained our joint savings before the divorce, about how she told her friends that I was boring, emotionless, safe. Every word hit like a silent blow. Then Clara handed me something, a flash drive. Photos, videos, proof. I watched them later, alone, in the dark. My wife, in that hotel room. Her laughter, again. The same sound that haunted me, only now it made me understand. It wasn't freedom she was celebrating, it was victory. She had won something I didn't even know I was competing for. Until now. The next morning, she showed up at my place, unannounced, smiling. Clara told me she came by, she said, crossing her arms. I hope she didn't bore you with her drama. I didn't respond. I just gestured to the table. Her laptop was sitting there, the one she had left behind when she moved out. I backed up your files, I said. There's something you might want to see. She frowned, confused, then clicked. The video started playing automatically. Her, that man, their laughter. Her face drained of color. Daniel, I can explain. No, I said quietly. You can't. She reached out. I stepped back. For the first time, she looked small, human. Why would you? Because you made me a fool, I whispered, but only once. I slid a document across the table. Bank statements, screenshots, messages. Everything she had done, compiled, dated, printed. You took from me, I said. Now I take from you. She opened her mouth to speak. Nothing came out. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I simply turned, walked to the door, and said the last words she'd ever hear from me. You'll remember me every time someone laughs like that. And I walked away. The papers are final now. She's gone. The accounts are frozen. The house is mine. Clara moved back to the city. We talk sometimes. Not as confessions. Just two people who've seen too much truth to ever be naive again. Sometimes I still hear echoes of that laugh in my head. The one that used to mean love, and then betrayal, and now, nothing. Because that's what she became to me. Nothing. It's strange how something so devastating can end in silence. No screams, no tears, just stillness. I used to think revenge would feel like victory, but it doesn't. It feels like balance, and maybe that's enough. Because when I see her face online now, older, faded, her smile weaker, I don't feel hate anymore. I feel closure. In the end, she celebrated her freedom, and I celebrated my peace. But only one of us is still dancing.
How could you do this?